Assalamualaikum. Now we are going to discuss about dental analysis. So dental analysis basically tell us about the relationship of the teeth in response to the skeleton, and it also tells us whether it is a dental malocclusion or a skeletal malocclusion. So these are also very important. So let's start. First of all, we will draw an A and an B. So because these are used as a reference angles, and now we will draw a line which will pass from the incisor tip to the root tip. So here we go, here it is, and now we will draw the same with the lower incisor. Here we go. Okay. To differentiate it from rest, I'll try to differentiate it, but I've already drawn it with the black, so it will be difficult. So these are the blue lines which are passing from the incisor tips. So the angle formed in between two. So this is the angle which is formed by the intersection of the upper incisor line and the lower incisor line here, and the angle formed between these two is called as the interincisal angle. So the interincisal angle should be 135 plus minus 5 degrees. Okay, if these incisors are more proclined, then what will happen? This angle will become more acute, more shorter. So what will happen? The interincisor angle will be less than 130 degrees. So it means that the incisors are proclined. If the incisors are retroclined, if these are more in upright position, so what will happen? The angle will become more large. As a result, the interincisal angle will be greater than 140 degrees. So the incisor, this will tell us the incisors are retroclined. Okay, so this will tell us by incisor proclination or by incisor retroclination. So this angle is very important in telling us whether the incisors are proclined or retroclined. The second angle is the angle which this line, upper incisor line, forms with the ascent plane angle. This angle should be equal to 102 degrees plus minus 5. So if this tells us the relationship of the upper incisors with the cranial base, if this value is greater than 107 degrees, then it will tell us that the upper incisor is proclined related to the cranial base. And if this angle is less than 97 degrees, then this will tell us that upper incisors are retroclined. Okay, so the next angle which this incisor line forms with that palatal plane. So this is the angle which it forms with the palatal plane. This incisor line forms with the palatal plane, and this angle should be upper incisor to palatal plane angle should be equal to 108 plus minus 5 degrees. So this angle tells us the relationship of the upper incisor with that of the maxilla. Okay. Similarly, if it is greater than this value, then it will tell us that it is proclined. If it is lesser than this value, then it will tell us that it is retroclined. Now, this angle, lower incisor, the line passes from the tip of the incisor tip to the root tip. This angle intersecting the mandibular plane angle, this angle should be incisor mandibular plane angle should be equal to 90 degrees plus minus 5 degrees. So this angle is very important. This angle tells us the relationship of the lower incisor with relation to the mandible. If it is greater than 95 degrees, it will tell us that the incisors are proclined, and if these are less than 85 degrees, then it will tell us that the incisors are retroclined. And in the case of crowding, for the fraction of 1 degree of incisor mandibular plane angle, we need 0.8 mm of space. Okay, so if the incisors are proclined and we have to take it them into its original position, so to retrocline them by 1 degree, we need a space of 0.8 mm. Okay, next one. So now we will discuss the relationship between the incisor tip and the NA distance. So this is the NA line passing from here, and this is the incisor tip, and we will measure the distance between them. So this is the distance between them, the incisor tip and the NA line, and this distance should be equal to 4 mm. Okay, 4 mm. So this angle should be equal to 4 mm. The distance between the NA and the upper incisor tip should be equal to 4 mm. And now the angle formed between the incisor line, upper incisor line and the NA line, this angle, this is the NA line and this is the incisor line, and the angle formed between them should be equal to 22 degrees plus minus 4. So this will tell us the relationship of the incisors with relationship to the NA line, and similarly the distance of the NB line from the incisor tip here, this is now very messy now. So if this is the NB line and this is the incisor tip, so the distance between them should be equal to 4 mm. Okay, upper incisor, lower incisor to NB distance should be equal to 4 mm. And similarly, upper incisor to NB angle should be equal to 25 degrees plus minus 5 degrees. So this will tell us the relationship between the upper incisor, the lower incisor and the NB line. So this is the angle, and this angle can be measured in this way. So this is the line and this is the passing line. So this line, this is the angle which should be equal to 25 degrees. Here it is very messy now, you can see it clearly. So here this is the angle which should be equal to 25 degrees. Now the other part, which is known as hold away ratio. Hold away ratio is basically a ratio between the lower incisor and NB distance to the ratio of pogonion to NB distance, and it should be equal to 1:1. So what is this? So if this is the NB line, the distance between the NB and pogonion and the distance between the upper incisor and NB line should be 1:1. Either it should be 4:4, which cancel out each other, and 1 becomes 1:1. So they should be equal to each other. Okay, so that the ratio should be equal to 1:1. So it will tell us the relationship of the incisor and the chin prominence with relation to each other with the help of NB. Okay, if the ratio is, let's suppose, 2:1, it will tell us that the incisor is more proclined as compared to the chin, and vice versa. If the ratio is 1:2, it will tell us that the chin is more projecting outward as compared to the incisors. So this is the ratio which tells us the relationship of the chin and the incisor with relation to the NB line. I hope this is clear now. What is hold away ratio? And this is all the dental analysis.